same rights as everyone else. And we talked about this earlier. The problem is the way they're handling it right now actually puts our community in more danger because it makes our community not cooperate. Like the lady who got arrested in New York, people ask me, what about the lady who got arrested in New York? Fantastic! That's exactly what's supposed to happen. If you think someone's a spy, you don't say the whole community gets punished. You say, hey, we think that person's a spy. Why don't you go investigate them? And they investigate them, they found evidence, and they took the ass to court. That's how it's supposed to work. Right? We don't punish people until we have evidence that they did something wrong. These laws are a collective punishment of our community. It's a collective punishment for what they think happens. Okay. We talked about the past. We talked about Project 25 and plans for the future. And people say, Project 2025 it's just a plan, it's just a wish list, it's not really going to happen. Unless you're in the Chinese American community. Because those parts of the Project 25 have already happened. 25 states have passed some laws dealing with the ability for Chinese Americans to buy property. Right? And people say, well, some of these states don't list China specifically, they don't do it exactly. That's fair, that's fair. The states with the stars, including Texas, Nebraska, and Florida, all passed laws to target individuals and treat individuals as a collective. Everything with a star, all those states say every Chinese person is a spy. Every Chinese American is a spy. Okay? This is the snapshot as of earlier this year. This may have changed, and we may have added more states. This is half the states. 24 states. This is half the nation. So, alright, wrapping up. In the past, in the 150 years ago, they passed laws against the Chinese community, against the Japanese community on property, education, employment, housing, immigration, personal relationships. And it ended up with Japanese internment. Don't forget, these laws were mostly passed, we showed you at the beginning, mostly passed against the Japanese. Because the bad feelings were against the Japanese. Chinese were basically unknown at the time. From 2020 to now, states have passed, or offered to pass, bills related to property, education, employment, housing, immigration. Project 2025 calls for laws on. You get it? I actually need to update this. Because these is just states. This is just states. As of this week, the United States Congress, the House of Representatives, also passed these laws in the U.S. House. Are you concerned yet? Okay. So, why did I come here? Why did I spend my own time, my own money, to come talk to you on a Sunday? Because this is what they did in the past, this is what they're currently already doing, this is what they want to finish. Here's my question to you, because I came all this way to ask you a question. What is your risk tolerance for concentration camps? If I told you that all this stuff, in 20 years, there is a 50% chance of having Chinese internment camps, should we act? Should we do something right now?
Yeah.
Well, okay, wait, what if it's lower? What if it's not that serious, and what if the chance of, what if this chance was 5%? Should we act?
Yes.
Yes? If there's a 5% chance that in 20 years my children will be rounded up at gunpoint, forced into a truck, and taken to a concentration camp, should we do something now?
Yes.
Wait. What if it's only 1%? What if there's only a 1% chance that our community could be systematically rounded up by force? Immigrants, citizens, it doesn't matter. If it's only 1% chance, do we fight? Yes. That's it. That's why I'm here. If there is even a 1% chance that in the following decades, that our community once again becomes a target, that once again Asian people are rounded up by this country that has already done it once, if there is only a 1% chance, I will fight with everything I have. Because that is not a future I am willing to leave to my two boys. Once again, I look forward to a future where my children do not have to apologize for being Chinese, for being Chinese Americans. That people, when they look at them, so like I can't be president. I can't be president because I'm born in China, right? Well, the boys can, right? When I first ran for office, the first time I ran for office, and I'm knocking on doors, and these are Democratic primary doors. These are Democrats. I knocked on the door. This twice happened twice. A nice white lady comes and says, "Oh, nice to meet you. I didn't know they allowed your kind to run." And she meant it. She was happy that I was running. But in her mind, Asian people were not allowed to be in office. You think about why? Why are we perpetual aliens, as we always say? Why is it that my friends in the G family, who have been in America since the gold rush days, been here over 100 years, in Houston, there's like 3 buildings named after family members. But my friends who are 5th generation Americans, I asked them, "Hey, has everyone asked you where you're from?" And he goes, "Yeah." "What do you tell them?" "Sacramento." And I asked him, "Do you know what I'm going to ask you next?" And he goes, "Yes." Where are you? Do they ever ask me where are you really from? Right? Think about that question. What that question really means is, I know you sound American. I know you say you're American, but I don't really trust that you're American. You must be lying about something. Think about what that says about us. Think about what that says about our community and what we have to fight for. That's it. That's all about. All I have for you is a warning. This is going to happen across the nation. This has already happened across the nation. Right? The question that still has not been answered is, what are we going to do about it? What is the Chinese American community going to do about it? Because of all the ethnic groups in America, I cannot think of a group that is more powerful, yet more apathetic. The Chinese have been here so long, our community has so much money. You don't even understand how much money, right? But where is it? Where's that power? So, I've explained this to people before. Our community does not know how to use power. You know what? The Jews are about the same population size as Chinese, maybe even a little smaller, right? And Chinese is getting bigger. Jewish community in big cities always have a Holocaust museum. They always have an Anti-Defamation League office. But it's not just that. But when there are other events, when there are non-Jewish events, they still have them at the Holocaust Museum. Because they let them use it for free. Soft power. Soft power. Where is your Chinese Community Center? Where's your Chinese Community Center? In Houston, the Chinese Community Center is not only a voting location, it's also a school, it's elder care, it's also a meeting place for non-Asian groups. It's a shelter whenever we have natural disasters. It's a distribution location for extra supplies when times are bad. Where is your Chinese community center? Soft power. How do we deal with this? So this is my last slide. I want to say, this is my staff wrote this for me. And this is the point that they wanted you to remember. This is not a theory. This is not like Gene Wu making stuff up. Okay? Everything I told you is in the history books, has already happened. Everything I told you is written in Project 2025. Everything I told you is stuff that was done recently, and you can check it out for yourself. It's 1 to 1 to 1. You can believe me, or you can not believe me, I don't care. But you can't say that I'm lying. Because it's just history. I'm just reading it to you. Okay? This is not just some Heritage Foundation crazy wish list. This is every conservative group in America deciding what they want the future to look like. And the future does not include you. That's it. Here's what I need you to do. Number one, I want you to go home and tell everybody that you know about this. Right? Because we don't have a good pathway to inform the Chinese community. Right? That's one of our problems. We're incredibly disorganized. We're at least lucky that you guys have Echo here and other people who are trying to organize something. Right? Yeah, Faja. Right? You have OCA? Or?
OCPA.
What?
OCPA.
OCPA. Right? Something. We need more. You know how, for example, the best examples are, look, when bad things happen in the Jewish community, when bad things happen in the Black community, when bad things happen in other communities, the community finds out really fast. How many in here actually knew this was happening? Nobody. Every state that I've gone to, even in Texas, in Texas, we fought SB 147, but even they didn't know the stuff that was happening right now. In Texas, they want to pass these laws so badly, they formed a special committee just to hear them this summer. Out of all the 30-something committees they already have, they formed a special committee just to hear this. Did anybody know that? Nobody in Texas knew that, right? So that's what they're counting on. Number one, we need the community to know. And I'll put this out there. I can do this over Zoom. With the exception of this Sunday, I put this on every Sunday, but I do the Texas version because it's not sure. Okay? But I can do a national version. I will put on this program, if you have 3 or more people willing to sit down for Zoom, I'll put this presentation on for you. Come find me. Okay? If you have a researcher group, a Chinese researcher group that you guys hang out with on WeChat, whatever, and they say, hey, we want to hear this, we want to ask them questions, come find me. I'll put it on for them. Right? You can ask me questions. I will have all the slides and also my op-ed in English and in Chinese. I'll send all that to you. I'll send you the old video links. You can share the old video links. But we need the community to know right now. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I need you to organize right now. Not, I'll think about it next week, and then maybe in 3 months, I'll email somebody. No. Today. Right? We need organizations around the country representing Chinese American interests right now. If OCPA can handle it, do it. Grow it bigger. Start growing your membership. Everyone that you talk to, tell them, join. Join and give $10. Right? Do something. As Michelle Obama has said. Do something. I mean, I don't want to beat this point in the ground. But we're talking about the future existence of our community. It's not just, I think my son can be president. It's, I'm not sure my family can stay in America. If that is not important to you, or the people you talk to, why are you here? And this is what I'll say this, because people have asked me this question. People say, well, I have friends, but they're MAGA, and they're big Trump supporters, what do I do? Why shouldn't MAGA care about this? Right? You have to agree with Trump on everything? You can say, look, I support everything he does, but don't attack Chinese immigrants. We didn't do anything. I'm a Chinese immigrant. It's not fair. Right? We need people on the other side. We need Republicans to tell other Republicans, this is racist. Don't do this. That was part of the team that stopped it in Texas. Okay? And let me say this. If Trump wins this November, this will happen on a national level. You watch the U.S. Congress pass those laws this week. The U.S. Senate is going to stop it. President Biden will veto it. Okay? If Trump wins, that's a different story. But even if Trump does not win, guess what? Florida, he's going to keep passing those laws. Texas, he's going to keep passing those laws. Tennessee, Georgia. Everyone else, all the red states, are still going to keep passing these laws. Should you organize right now to deal with it? Yeah. So here's, again, what I need to do. One, tell everyone what's going on. Two, start organizing your local areas. Right now. Right? Figure out when your next meeting is. Alright? Meet all the time. Have meetings, have people come to meetings, have people talk at meetings, raise money at meetings, do something with that money. Number three, get the community out to vote. And this is a nonpartisan event, and I will say, I don't even care who you vote for. And I kind of really mean that. Because what matters is that we show politicians the increase in the number of Chinese American voters. Because we go to politicians and say, hey, you know, we added over 600 new Chinese people, Chinese voters in your district. And that's more than half of your margin of victory last time. If you want to piss us off, go ahead. But we want you to understand what's going to come for you. That 500-600 votes, it's going to become 1,000 next time. And they're all voting against you. Because we're going to tell them. Some of those may even be Republicans. They don't care. You attack a community, you attack everybody. Okay? Educate the community, organize your area, get people out to vote. And then in the spring, when the legislature starts again, I will be back. And I want to come back to Orlando and see a room 5 times the size, with people who are ready to go to the Capitol, to march on the Capitol, to knock on doors, to tell people, if you mess with us, then we're going to come for you. If you mess with our community and attack our community this time will fight back. And that's the key, right? History is repeating itself. We have seen this movie before, and we don't like the ending. We have seen this movie before, but there is a difference this time. The difference this time is we can vote. The difference this time is we can organize. The difference this time is we know how the first movie ends. Let's write a different ending this time. I want an ending that I can tell to my children for them to be proud to be Chinese Americans. Well, I'm happy to take questions if there are any questions left, because I don't want to beat you guys into the ground.
Okay, right now is the Q&A session, Q&A time. I know that we all have lots of questions. We're all passionate about this. The question that Representative Jin just ask ourselves, what are we going to do next? Are we going to stay silent? Are we not going to do anything? Are we going to stay quiet? I think the answer is negative. I think right now, Joe, wait, you say you have a question, right? Before? Wait. No, Joe, wait. You have questions? You just told before you told me. Okay, that's fine.
Everyone, this is a good time to ask a question.
So
that, so like I came from, today I came from Beijing Beach, so which is a smaller town.
Mm-hmm.
And I know many Chinese people there.
Yeah.
So how to, but I do want to group,
Can you come to meetings in Orlando?
yeah, of course. I can keep coming, but I also want to organize people in a smaller town.
If you're there are others, right? Why were you in that small town? For work.
You mean I moved here?
Yeah. So if you came there for work, other Chinese people came there for work. And here's the thing. And I know there's some Chinese out there who say, well, I'm not a citizen, I can't vote, what do I do? If you're a citizen, vote and organize. If you're a green card holder, guess what? You can donate. Green card holders can't vote, but they can donate and they can help organize, right? Visas, you can't donate, you can't vote, but you can help, right? Everyone doing something. Everyone doing something. Everyone doing something. If you meet people in the community, you ask them, what are you doing to help? And they tell you nothing. You tell them, get out. I'm going to say this one more time. People have repeatedly asked me, what do I tell people who say they don't care? If I tell you your house is on fire, if I call you and I tell you your house is on fire, and they say, what address? I said, your address. Oh, I don't care. That's not their house.
Yeah.
Right? If they don't care that their house is on fire, that is not their house. Does anyone understand what I mean by that? If I tell you the Chinese community is in real danger and you say, I don't care, you are not a part of the Chinese community. The end. That's it. Ask them, walk away. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay, sorry, I took over your question. Was it?
Okay, hi Jim. Thank you for the presentation. In the past week, you sort of talked about it. There was this past week was the China Week.
Yeah.
Right? And the past, I don't know how many laws, 20?
Yeah. 4 big bills.
Laws, not all of that. Some of that are all concerning national security,
Right.
and I would support it. Some of them are not very friendly to the Chinese community. Back in 2 months ago, I guess I saw you there, UCA. We actually went to each and every office on the Capitol Hill. I personally went to all the senators' offices. We were lobbying for something related to the Chinese. I got the feeling that the wind is actually blowing against us instead of for us, and it doesn't matter which party it is, really. For the people around here, I'm a Democrat, and I just don't have the confidence, with China, the Democrat, as a party stands on that issue now. Okay.
That's actually, so his question, if I can paraphrase your question. Question is, what do we do? Because we're not sure that even the people who should be on our side are on our side. Because in Florida, there were other state reps, there were Democrats who voted for this bill, right? You know why? Because fear is an effective tool. Because fear and hate are great combinations. You have, and again, the old hate of our people, the old hate that says Asian people are like rats. You have to either not let them in at all, but if they come in, you have to control their growth and control their population. Right? Look what happened. Look what happened during the pandemic. Right? What do they say about Asian people? What do they say about Chinese Americans? Oh, of course Chinese Americans brought the disease. Look at them. They eat everything. They eat dogs. They eat cats. They eat bats. They eat rats. Of course they got something. Of course they brought it to America. Look at them. They're so dirty. You know they buy all their food in the wet market where the food is covered in shit? Right? That's the story people tell about us a few years ago. And that kind of fear, that kind of hate, goes to both sides. Right? And I'm embarrassed as a Democrat. I'm embarrassed that Democrats voted for this. But it didn't stop them. I tried to talk to some of them. Right? Representative Esamani tried to talk to some of them when she was fighting this. But here's the biggest thing. We go back to the reason I'm here. The reason I have points 1, 2, and 3 for you to do. Okay? Because if a community does not have political power, what does your voice mean? Nothing. It means zero. It means absolutely nothing. You can go to as many congressional members as you want, but if nobody votes, if there's no threat of losing votes, why would they ever do anything? Politics is a risk-reward balance. Politicians look at this thing and say, well, there's a lot of benefit and no risk. Chinese people don't fight back, they don't complain, they don't write me emails, they don't write me letters, they don't send me calls, they don't say angry things on Twitter, no posts on Facebook, they don't even vote. What is your threat to them? Nothing. There's no magic in politics. Politics is just human beings being human beings. Right? You can think this up yourself. You go talk to somebody, why should they care? The first question you should ask yourself is, why should they care? Most of the times people don't care about this issue because our community is not a relevant factor in winning elections. That's it. If you want people to care about this issue, you want them to listen to you about this issue, they have to fear you. Right? Because they're sure as hell not going to respect you. So if they won't respect us, at least fear us. Florida is in a... There's a reason why I'm here and spending so much time here. That's why I came back to Florida again and again. Not only is this the central location for this hate, but this is the one place where it can really change something. Because Florida is now a battleground state. And there's people here who say, like, no, Florida's bright red, Florida's bright red. Florida is bright red before they count you. That's it. Florida isn't a red state. Florida is a red non-voting state. I'm giving you a reason and a tool to use to activate and engage our community. I'm giving you a magic bullet. Go tell them about what's happening. Tell them they have to act. Tell them if you don't act, this may be the end. Right? That's it. So, when let me just say this. If Chinese Americans become the margin of victory, flipping this state from Trump to Harris, do you think that is going to give us power? Absolutely. Hell yes. If Chinese Americans could show 100,000 Chinese Floridians that have never voted before came out in mass and voted for Harris, right? I think my access to the White House just increased. And let me say this. This is a nonpartisan event. This is a nonpartisan event. I said before, I don't care who we vote for, but let me just, the facts are the facts. Right? The facts are the facts are the facts. Of all these, Texas, Florida, all these bills carried by Republicans. Now, there were Democrats who voted for them, and there were Republicans who voted against them, but almost all of these carried by Republicans. At the same time, everyone who has fought against these bills